You'll always be mommy's little guy. Hey oh, hey oh, hey oh. Hey oh, hey, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey. Hey oh, hey, hey we oh, hey. Hey oh, hey oh, hey oh. Do you know I love you so, and mommy will never let you go. To the stars and the sky, you'll always be mommy's little guy. Hey oh, hey oh, hey oh. When I think I'm sad and lonely, and I begin to worry, and I know you're out there thinking of me somewhere, somewhere. Hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh. Hey when you think you're sad and blue and don't know what to do, don't worry, you will see how much you really mean to me. Hi, away, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh. Hey, when I think I'm sad and lonely, and I begin to worry, and I know you're out there thinking of me somewhere, somewhere. Hi, away, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh. Hey, when you think you're sad and blue and don't know what to do, don't worry, you will see how much you really mean to me. Hi, away, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh. Little one, close your eyes. Mommy will stay here by your side because I love you. Because I love. I'll be here always and forever. Always and forever. Little one, close your eyes. Mommy will stay here by your side because I love you. Because I love you. I'll be here always and forever. Always and forever. Hey,
Mic check 1, 2. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Think Indigenous. Before we get started, as part of the practice of our communities, since time immemorial, we have always led with prayer and ceremony. And today, leading us in prayer and ceremony is a relative of ours from the Fort Peck, Sioux. We have Mr. Tommy Christian and his nephew, Dylan Yupa. So let's give them a big round of applause here.
Hey, can you hear me now? I'm talking. I'm be tukile mi chante tawa glake na han be chuza pedo. Oh hey chaje mi ta wam nisha ge. Doba imacha. Ushimalo, Kchewi Chacha, Himacha. My relatives, this evening we're going to share a beautiful Wakayapi or Chekia on behalf of all of you in a good way. We chose any Omnicha Hecha and Daya Chano. You're really doing well by coming to this meeting of a healthy lifestyle to really help others. And as we do these things as a Dakota, Lakota, Wichasha, realize the importance of holding our women in high regard, even to a point of reverence, if you will. And so when we wachekia, when we acknowledge our relatives and their needs, it goes beyond our own personal agendas, our political agendas. For it's for the sake of others. So when we say wachekia, that's exactly what we're intending to do, is share on the behalf of the Creator for all of you, wakaiapi, utilizing my voice with the spiritual energy for the sake of the needs of others. So again, as I have my nephew here, come up here, my boy. My nephew Dylan Yupi, Chajeni Tana Makaju. He's one of our spiritual leaders in Fort Peck. He makes the big lodge. And as he does these things, he understands the importance of incorporating that female aspect in all of his decisions he makes. We just come from a sweat last night, really enjoyable. We had all of the werewolves and the vampires in there with us because it was a blood moon. I don't even know what that means. But anyway, that's what they said it was. But again, this is something that's important to us. Every full moon, my nephew Makaju makes that sweat lodge, and understanding those 13 times throughout the year in which we go and understand the impact that the moon has on the energy that exists here. So today, as we come together in a good way to really understand the importance of Wichozani, this healthy lifestyle, we're going to ask all of you to help us out as we go to the Creator. My nephew is going to, he's going to sing this prayer song as I go to the Creator. And we're going to ask all of you at the same time to help us out, understand the importance of, on behalf of the Tukahitakia, our future that's represented by our children, how important it is to make good tracks on that red road for the sake of those that are following us. And as we represent not only ourselves, but our family, our tribe, and our communities in which we come from, we continue to understand the importance of representing in a dignified, honorable way so that others can understand that we are a people of integrity. Oh man, does that sound cool or what? Yeah, you betcha. All right, but thank you very much for coming here, supporting this way of life and understanding the importance of the manner in which we go to the Creator, this higher power. I'm going to ask all of you if you would, and please remain seated. Don't stand up. This is not church. Stay seated, and we're going to enjoy ourselves throughout these next few days. But I'm going to ask you all, Ushimalo Omakia, Kchewi Chacha Melo. We'll check ya, mitakia pi ushimalo. Aha, hey, wana, mita. Tushka. Wakaya pi aloha. Okay. Aha, hey, antukashila na wakanta ka tadeo doba. Unchi maka na makaina. Nakumitake pe wanage makpe aktayage. Hocho kakta yopo. Nichope. Ogi achamitake pe wanahi. Wichasha bile wea bile. Nasu washake ogi achawo. Ushiake. Na hakiksiapo mitake pe. Unchi makao mani wayanza pe. Ogi achamitake pe unchi makao mani. Chante ioksi chamani, owi chakiapo, ushi wichalapo, ekte wichasha mielo, ushi malo naha, wamnisha ge hohecha jemita, doba imachiapi, ogiacha, kiksiapo mitaki api naha, gichita oyate kizuya ekta, wichasha bile, wiha bile, chanku washte upi, wichozani upi, ogiawo ushi wichalapo, he mitaki api, my grandfathers and my grandmothers, as we continue to walk this red road in a good way, we ask that you remember all of those that are having a hard time throughout their life, through the mourning that they've lost loved ones, the understanding of the confusion that is presented to them in a more contemporary way to help them understand. We choose to hang on to our value system that's based on natural law through meetings like this. So we ask that you will pity all of those that are here present today. We're grateful and thankful for them being here. And so we ask that you watch over their families, their extended families, to help them understand the importance of the support that they need as they continue to live a life as Dakota, Lakota, Nakona, indigenous people that believe we're come from this Mother Earth here on Turtle Island. And again, as we continue to live like this, we pray and we ask that you continue to look after those that are having a hard time. Atukashila na wakanta ko hushiake ogia chawo mitaki epi oyate oyasi chaku luta aga omani owi chakia po ushi wichala po. Ahe atukashila na wakantanka iksia po mitaki epi naha. Again, those that have suffered so many times in the past, until we come to this point in our life to hang on to this way of life, this value system that is very important to us, and continuing to look forward to the future to help us and give us strength. We ask that you continue to pity us in a good way. We're very thankful for those that are participating, helped out to bring this together. All the singers, all the dancers, those that are going to be putting presentations, that they can do it with a good heart and a good way and give them the understanding that they need to continue to always identify with our relatives in a good way. So with that all being said, I'd like to thank all of you in a good way. Ho, mitake oasi wamakashka oasi. Ho.
Danse, gakiao kitam skat noao, kunis wat ninit gasun, migsua chekochinia. Good evening, relatives, and welcome to the 2026 Think Indigenous International Education Conference. My name is Kunis Watney. I am from the Red Pheasant Cree Nation. I'm an educator by trade, but my passions are in the arts and expressing myself creatively. I am a mother to a wonderful girl, and through her, I'm learning to indulge in childhood joy and whimsy. And I am also someone who grew up with my culture. So I truly believe in the work that we are doing here. And I'm more than grateful to be here again, and I am honored to serve as your co-MC. I'll let him introduce himself in a minute. But before we begin, I'd like to welcome you all again to Treaty 4 territory, the homeland of the Cree, Saulteaux, Dakota, Nakota, Lakota, and the Métis Nation.
All right, thank you, Kunis. Yat eshik edoshid ne TJ Warren yinishya. Look at the Twitter in Slow Patani, but chin, Kilachini does not let sheet check without the Nanshle. I used to let such cheat as Kande at dead Nasha with Anacrum, Saskatoon of the Concash and cut. By hands and non head Ashin Con, Think Indigenous International Education Conference with Yaniki Con, Shahazat.com, Hayat Edolate, Awat Hahat Nan. So, in welcoming and beautiful prayer and ceremony, we bring you here today to this beautiful space. and where we have innovators rooted in who they are and being able to help strengthen our communities and bring ideas and gather and to collaborate. And so Think Indigenous Education Conference, again, has serviced our community for many years now. And as being a hub and a place where all of us come together, you know, it's always a wonderful thing. And so today, as we think about all that is happening, may these days, as we go forward, you know, come together in a courageous way, where conversations and bold dreaming and the weaving of these ideas come together and that can carry us forward. And so we're going to turn it back over to Kunis, and she's got some housekeeping to give.
So before we get started, I would just like to remind everybody to move through the space in a good and respectful way, to be mindful of those around you. Please silence your phones and just make sure you're looking out for one another, respecting everybody in the space around us.
All right, as we begin this conference and celebration, we always begin in a good way and to continue in a good way through movement, strength, and brilliance. Our Indigenous song and dance has played a vital role in that as part of the resurgence, the reclamation of our identity and our culture, serving as a living expression of our history, language, and spirituality, and our collective memory. For a long time, our ways have been threatened by colonization, forced assimilation, and cultural suppression. So through song and dance, we find that there's a resurgence, a reconnection, a revitalization that takes place, and that happens for individuals. And so again, we see the connection through land, through the ancestors, and a reminder of responsibilities for our future generations, transforming cultural expression into acts of resistance, healing, and pride. So join us in welcoming the Fancy Dance Showdown, the spirit of the Fancy Dance, presented by Charging Bear Productions.
Hey, you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He got you. He got you. Hold on. Oh, hey. Didn't see you guys there. Hey, you guys are a great crowd. Holy man. Thank you for laughing at my dad jokes. So I'm a Doc Yappy. My name's Teddy Bison. I come from the Oceanman First Nation. What we're about to share with you, you know, you know, every culture in this world has some sort of music and movement to go along with it. And within our lands here, we have what we call powwow. And there's fancy dance. This fancy dance is one of those aspects, one of the categories. And when we think about fancy dance, we think about the energy. We think about the fierceness. We think about the athleticism. You know, all of our dancers here, every dancer here has their own spirit. Every singer here has their own spirit. We all go by our own universal law of why we dance, why we sing, is to celebrate life. You know, as Indian people, Indigenous people, First Nations people. And they say that, or my old people have told me that, my father, that he said, our fancy dance comes from the Southern Plains. And when it made its way across Turtle Island, depending on what time period, how they got fancy dance, they have their own version, their own story of different time periods. But every dancer and singer here, like I said, we dance for life. My old people always say that if you dance and you sing and you put a smile on someone's face, you did your job as a dancer or singer. But every dancer here, singer here, has their own story. And what they're going to do is they're going to tell their story through a movement. So ladies and gentlemen, Fancy Showdown.
Oh, wasn't that something? Yeah, let's please thank Charging Bear Productions and our singers and dancers for opening in such a powerful way. We're truly lucky to always have our songs and dance a part of our events and our gatherings. Now we would like to invite Chief Evan Tepotat to the stage. Chief of Kakuistahau, he will be joined by Beatrice and Layla to share some opening remarks.
Testing. Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening. Today I'm joined by two young ones. I brought them on stage last year with me, so I think I'll introduce them again. To my right is my daughter.
Bia.
And to my left is my niece.
Layla.
All right, let's give them a round of applause for young ladies coming up here. So when I speak, I always like to, acknowledge a lot of people and do all those things that good leaders do. And first of all, I want to acknowledge Tommy Christian and his nephew Dylan for opening us up in a good way. 2026 is, Think Indigenous is the second year that Kakwa First Nation has essentially hosted, been the financial sponsor for Think Indigenous. And it's very important to know that when Dr. Chris Scribe and Kakwa put their minds together, this is a safe space. It's a safe space for Indigenous and non-Indigenous. So to all you people in the crowd, wherever you may come from, just know that I want you to collaborate, I want you to smile, I want you to laugh, I want you to tease, because those are prerequisites for Think Indigenous 2026. So going through the list of people that are here, there's so many people here. There's actually, we were only supposed to have 1,000 people at Think Indigenous. There's actually 1,200 people registered. So we kind of went over. Niiganeet First Nation is here, Buffalo River, Ocean Man, Sask Polytech is here. We have Beardies, we have oh my God, Jesus. Samson Cree Nation is here, Kainai, Sutana, Pipe Pots, Chegakin, they're all here. I want to thank Dr. Chris Scribe, because he's the one that came up with this concept in 2013, 2014. You know, 25 years ago, we didn't dream that this stuff happens, and today it does. So welcome to this space. One of the things I got to acknowledge is the leadership. I am joined by 4 great counselors of Kakwa First Nation. It's a hell of a thing when people put their stuff to the side and work together for the greater good. So with me tonight are Counselor William K. Sawasamat, Counselor Michael Bob, Counselor Iris Tapetat Scribe, and Counselor Corey Alexson. Wherever you are, let's give them a round of applause, please. I have to humbly brag about a decision that they made as leaders. A lot of the times, you know, the chief gets the arrows when things are not going good, and a lot of the time we get the grace when things are going really well. I get a lot of inboxes about things, something that we do on Kakwa that I think we're the only ones in Canada that do it. You know, when we settle these claims on our First Nations, there's many ways leadership can spend the money. We on Kakwa always give a bit out of per capita. We pay some bills, we buy some things, and we invest at least half. Because we've invested half, every year we get upwards to 10% back on $190 million. Because our council agreed to do the investment, we actually sponsor 55 post-secondary students right now. They get $3,000 a month in student allowance. Also, because of these investments, we now sponsor, we used to sponsor only 48 months worth of post-secondary. We now sponsor all masters, we sponsor all PhDs, we sponsor all trade-specific. Now, that is something that I'm super proud about, those 4 people that I named off that I stand with, because I respect every leadership in the room and their approach on how they spend their dollars. But I do like the way Kakwa spends ours. Now, speaking of other leadership in the room, I know there are some councillors here. There are some MLAs here. I see Kevin Weedmark in front. All the chief and council leadership in the room, can you please stand? Kevin, you stand as well. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Now, to the real important people in the room. All our teachers, principals, and education staff. Can you please stand right now? All of our teachers, education staff, principals. Let's give all of them a round of applause. Look at that, lights are on. Look around, look around. Educators, I know you know it, you are the heartbeats of our nation. A couple more things before I go here. So tomorrow night on this stage, we have invited 8 of, we think, the best women jingle dress dancers that exist today in North America. I won't name them off because you know who they are. They're famous already. They're checking into their hotels today. They'll be on stage tomorrow night from 6 to 10 p.m. So make sure you come out and cheer them on. Singing for them, we have the Descendants and we have Whitefish Bay. We've actually... Let's give them a round of applause. Those 2 drums are on their way. It's something I'm going to say tomorrow night as well at the actual event. You know, in Powwow country, sometimes people get a little bit slighted when so-and-so isn't invited. and people get in trouble on social media. I want the Powwow Nation to know that our chief and council made the decision of what we put on. Our chief and council approved a list. So if anyone's going to be slighted by anybody, you be slighted by myself, and you be slighted by our council, because we're the ones that put the money up, and leaders do make those hard decisions, and that's a hard decision we have to make. We're going to announce tomorrow night. We already have in mind what we're doing next year for the men's, and then in the fourth year, we're going to announce what we're doing for the women's, but we already know what we're doing for next year. Going to close up with a couple things here. Our logo and team name on Kakawistao is the Hurricanes. You may see all of them when you check in here. The Kakawistao Hurricane staff are here. The KFN, my Kakawistao workforce, are here. They're the ones that when you sponsor events like these, there has to be a lot of volunteers. So let's give them a round of applause, because they're... And I would be remiss if I didn't mention our vendors that are downstairs. Our vendors are set up. They got beautiful earrings. You don't negotiate. You pay what the hell they say is that, okay? That's something we know, okay? Okay, so anyone that knows me knows I love to challenge people. I love to challenge leadership. I love to challenge our Indigenous and non. Challenge is this, and I said it last year and I'm going to say it again. If you're in leadership, if you're a teacher, if you're a chief and council, the challenge is this. Does the room light up when you walk in, or does it grow dimmer? If you're in leadership, if you're a teacher, if you're an EA, if you're a bus driver, if you're a custodian, and especially, damn, if you're a chief and council, make those rooms light up when you walk in. They should light up. Everyone saw the little girl come out and dance, and these little girls, our youth are depending on it, our unborn are depending on it, that we light those rooms up and we break down those barriers. On behalf of Chief Kakawistao and his descendants, and many of my members are in the crowd, we welcome you here today, and by the power vested in me as Chief of Kakawistao, I hereby declare Think Indigenous 2026 open for education and destruction of colonization. Ekase, thank you.
All right, thank you, Chief. And your security detail there. Yeah, jeez. Well, we want to continue on here, and we're going to bring some good words here from our chair of Think Indigenous International Education Conference. And I know we've been clapping for everybody here, but we're decolonizing here. And so I want to hear you guys go, la, 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 and hey. And so with that, we're going to turn it over to the man of the hour, Mr. Think Indigenous himself. Let's give a big round of applause for Chris Scribe.
Man, if the lights were on, I'd see how beautiful and amazing everybody is. So good to see all of you here. You know, it's an amazing time. It seems like I got smoke too coming behind me. You know, our budget went up, you know, because we charge a little more to you guys, so appreciate that. Tansego magante prescribe natsiga sun kanaseo si piochinia. How konabi toga he amani amachiab. Chega gina getchatai tai hibi. Namoya nantao kineioen. Nuga megi upigi hit basimo. Nia basimo. My name's Chris Scribe, and I am from the north, in northern Manitoba. I am also from here, in Treaty 4 territory, in Carry the Kettle, Nakota Oyade. And I'd like to welcome each and every one of you. It's such a blessing to be here, to embrace. This is a breath of life for me, to be around like-minded people that are engaged in supporting and building something beautiful for our children. And that's why we gathered here. That was the purpose behind this. And I struggled about, do I write a speech and do I stand up here and do that for all of you, or do I speak from the heart? I'm going to speak from the heart. And I apologize to young people that if I swear, it's not my fault. You know, it's someone else's fault, and that other fault is the colonial English language. That's terrible, you know. I apologize to our non-Indigenous people out there. You know, I'm kind of one of you. You know, I have Scottish roots. You know, if you fight for me, well, you got to kill the English, right? So I like Braveheart, you know, really kicking in over there. Anyways, you know, all of you academics, don't be trying to fact check me to see if I'm a pretendian, okay? Really, I'm an Indian. Don't worry about it, okay? Here we go. We gather together to laugh. We gather together to visit and come together here to tell story and share story. And I want to share a story with you. I have relatives that are in this audience right here that have come here and are part of this route and this place. And I want to talk about my mushum, my grandfather. You see, my grandfather, in this world that we think of education and this idea that we think of what education is, he was placed in an industrial school. And he went up to grade 6 in this industrial school. And my grandfather, he left that. He didn't continue on. But this man was a PhD, knowledge carrier of the land, of the waters, of the animals, of everything that existed in this earth that we touch. He was a brilliant human being that had a mind to inspire young people to be proud of who they are. In the 1970s, my mushum and my grandmother, they moved their family out of the north, a land in which he loved, a land in which he embraced, that was part of an extension of who he was. They moved out of the north so that they wouldn't be riddled with the trauma that our people were coming back to our community with. They made a tough decision to do that. And they moved to Portage la Prairie in southern Manitoba. And my grandfather worked at the residence where they sent all the children from the north to go to grade 12, to go to high school. And my grandmother worked there in the ladies' dorm and the girls' dorm. And my grandfather worked in the boiler room. And on times when he didn't work in those spaces, he went into communities, into the interlakes of Manitoba in the south, sharing his culture, his tradition, his way of life, his understanding of the land, and all the knowledge passed down to him from our ancestors and our people. He went into schools, not just educating Indigenous kids, non-Indigenous kids, because he wanted people to see how beautiful we are. He would take the bones of a jackfish and he'd tell a story, and he'd be able to pull out a man from the bones and tell the story that his uncle told him. He was able to share all of this beautiful way of life that we had on the trap line. Through these stories, my grandfather wrote a children's book that was an award-winning book that went forward and helped him become an award-winning children's author. And as he made this journey and this passion, he had a passion for education. He had a passion to change the narrative in the late 70s and early 80s. Change the narrative about what they thought about Indian people, what they thought about Cree people, what they thought about us. And you know what happened in those schools? They wanted more. They wanted more of what he had. They wanted to incorporate this. There was no closed doors. He had a beautiful way to create this space for people. Fast forward many years, I got an assignment in the Indian Teacher Education Program for the first class that I took in university, Ed Foundations 101. And in Ed Foundations 101, this 10-minute assignment scared the shit out of me. See, I swore, I apologize. Scared me, 10 minutes. And the assignment was this: why do you want to be a teacher? That's it, simple. I mean, I'm a dancer, you know, I dance powwow, and I want to be a teacher so I can get paid in the summer, you know. I was like, man, I could tell that right now, you know, I don't have to worry about winning. I could just go powwow to powwow and I'll have cash. And then I was like, man, that ain't gonna fly. I'm gonna fail this assignment. A couple days before this assignment was due, my dad, my father, he was telling me a story. And I asked him, how come people in the north, in Kineseo CP, how come people in Norway House don't have Indian names? He says, we do. He said, for sure we do. I was like, well, what are they then? He said, you're Mushum. He said, he got a name, Pisaga still. In the Cree language, it's the sun's rising, you know. In the morning of the assignment, of course, being the person that I am, I didn't prepare and I thought I'd wing it. And I lived in Poundmaker and I drove to Thunderchild where the community-based ITEP program was and that course was happening. And I said, what am I going to say? And I was driving and I crossed the North Saskatchewan River, this nice, beautiful drive, and you drive 2 minutes over a lake, which is funny because the Norway House lakes, you know, you're driving for a long time. I drove up, and as I got to the top, the sun shone in my eyes. And I thought about, why do I want to be a teacher? What's the purpose? What's the reason why I want to be an educator? And it was like my mushum was standing right there in front of my face, reminding me. You see, I was raised by my grandmother. My grandmother was a Assiniboine, and she raised me to be a Assiniboine. That doesn't mean I'm not Cree, because I am, but she raised me to be a Assiniboine and to be proud of that. And part of that upbringing is that no matter what, no matter where you go, no matter what space you're in this world, you're always going to be Nakota, you're always going to be Cree first before anything else. Before a title, before a job, before anything, you're Indian. And because of that teaching, we're also got this beautiful gravitation to when we leave this world, when our job is done on earth, that our ancestors are going to greet us. And it's a beautiful time. And she taught me to understand that and to know it in my heart and soul. So knowing that, the sun came up, blinded me, and I thought of my mushum. And as I was driving, I made a vow. Just between myself and Creator. And a vow in an Indian way is powerful and meaningful when you put it in the universe. Our words are powerful. They have strength. They can tear somebody down and they can lift people up. There's strength in words. So I made a vow. I made a promise to my grandfather, Nimosham. I made a promise to him. And the promise was this. You see, my grandfather, he passed away when I was 3 years old of prostate cancer. I never had an opportunity to talk to my grandfather about Indigenous education. I never had a chance to sit down and pick his brain for him to tell me about the beautiful life he lived and the ancestral knowledge and stories that he had from his grandparents, his uncles, his dad. I never got to allow him to inform me about how beautiful we are as Cree people. But I'm an Indian before anything. So it means I can talk to my grandfather, and I made him a promise. And as I was driving, I said, Musham, I know why I want to be a teacher. I know why I want to be in education. And I promise and I vow that when my job is done on earth, when I take my last breath here, and when you come to greet me, the first words that come out of my mouth are going to be this. Musham, I did everything I could for our kids to be proud of who they are, to love to be Indian. I'm going to promise you that no matter what I do in this earth, that everything that I do is to finish the job you never had a chance to complete. And I put that in the universe for him. And I didn't know it at the time, But that vow and promise has driven my work in education. As human beings, the Creator gave us the ability to have a mind to make mistakes. The Creator gave us a mind to lie to one another. But that vow and that promise forces me to do everything in my power to live up to that vow, because I can't bullshit my grandfather. And I tell you that story because you're all sitting here. And for selfish reasons, you coming to Think Indigenous is giving me the chance to live up to my promise to my grandfather. By being here, you're giving me the chance to say I'm doing everything I can for that to happen. Anybody can talk. Anybody can speak. What we do for our children in our schools is what's important and it's difficult. My dream and prayer and what we're doing here today is this: that you take the beauty of what we do here back to your communities. You take them back to the communities in which we work and we live, and when you take them back to the communities that you live, that you inspire brilliance in who they are. And not only that, we dismantle the systems that were made to destroy us, and we build systems that are made by us, not for us. And if we do that, what's going to happen is this. These children are going to move into, my children are going to move into spaces where they don't have to compromise their identity. They're going to move into spaces where nothing's going to stop them. We're going to create children who are fierce, that are going to make a difference in this world. And all of you have that opportunity. So I welcome you to Think Indigenous. And man, I hope you have a wicked time. And I hope you have a deadly experience. And I'll see you all the way through. Hi, hi.
Thank you. Dr. Chris Scribe, Mr. Think Indigenous himself, is one of the most inspirational people that I am lucky to know. And, you know, just listening to him speak and working with him over the years, it's had so much positive impact on me, not only professionally, but personally. His words carry so much pride and so much power. Listening to him reminds me of who I am and where I can go. So I hope you carry his words with you as you move through the rest of this gathering. Our opening keynote, Mato Durawi Okora Katsiapi, honors the sacred responsibility of guiding young women through Ishnati Awichiro Wapi, carried with care, community, and mentorship. Our next guests that I would like to introduce to the stage, Chief Roger Redman Tatankanaji to speak about the declaration, which will be followed by Diane Goodwill, Andrea Redman, Kristen Uzichipi Tatusis, Joanne McKay, and Maureen Uzichipi, as well as the Mato Duda Okara Kachiapi representatives, Mahpia Redman, Malia Isnana, and Nevea Uzichipi, as well as representing the New Girls for 2026. We have Sasha, Delorme, Isnana. Please join me in welcoming them all to the stage.
Hamatakiapi. Good evening, everyone. My Indian name is Matoi Hidaka. I'm the Tansha of the Tatankanaje Nakota First Nation, part of the Ashati Shikoi, the Dakota, Lakota, Nakota. I have some of our elders here and our students, young girls. And you know, I just got back from Montreal to do a presentation on sovereignty and drawing down on projects of national interest. But when we talk about sovereignty, I guess before I get into that, I want to thank the elder, Mr. Tommy Christian, for that beautiful invocation acknowledging Creator. And welcome everyone here tonight, the MCs, the drum group performers. I do a lot of speaking, and you know, and what we're doing here today is we're drawing down and operationalizing our sovereignty. You know, as we walk in these two worlds today, that Eurocentric world, as Indian people, Dakota people, Cree, Saulteaux people, Nakota, we cannot forget who we are. So as we go in these two worlds, we got to make sure that we don't put ourselves and assimilate ourselves under that Eurocentric system, what they call affirmation, accreditation. As Indian people, all Indian people of Turtle Island, for thousands of years we had our own laws, our own ways of doing business, trade and barter. So when European contact came, oh, my eye fell out here. My glass here, sorry. But when European contact came to Turtle Island, you know, they took the wealth of the Indian people, trade and barter, and, you know, put us on reserves. So what we need to do, and this is what we've been doing, is developing a foundational base. We signed the declaration to reaffirm our traditional laws are there, ceremonies are there. And, you know, by doing that, you know, we start developing our ceremonies, and this is one of them. The Isnate ceremony, and the elders will speak on that. That's the women coming of age, and they'll explain that. That's not my role. Our role as men is coming of age for the boys. So in our traditional governance, we have structure and order. By getting back to our sovereignty, our declaration, that our laws are still there. We still live by those. The Hamblecha, we fast. The Honka ceremonies, we adopt. You know, these are the things, the Inipi, we still do those things. So these are the things that we're exercising. And I always say that we're operationalizing our sovereignty, reaffirming our laws, our practices, our values as Dakota people. As all Indian people, we have our own unique ways of doing that. As sovereign nations, we have that. We have a lot of commonalities we share: cloth, language, ceremony, songs. I asked an elder one time, how do you assert sovereignty? And he told me, language. Language is central to your sovereignty. You learn your language, you can pray. You learn to pray, you can learn the songs. You learn the songs, you can learn the ceremonies. You learn the ceremonies, you can help your community. You know, and that's what we did when we developed our declaration. We did it in our language. And that's the thing today as we go forward, as educators, as grandmothers, uncles, nieces, leadership. You know, we have that responsibility to improve the lives of our people, but our young people, the next generation to come. You know, I talked about that Eurocentric law that's there, maritime law that was applied to our people. As Indian people, we have Creator's law, the ultimate law. Our first mother, Mother Earth, Wachimaka, is who we recognize, the giver of life. And Creator's Law, that's embedded in all Indian people on Turtle Island. They have their ways of connection, stewardship. And from that comes our ancient relationships we have, the four-legged, the winged ones, the swimmers, the ones that crawl, that we have an obligation to look after their interests, because whatever happens to them will happen to us. Everything that has that living spirit, as Indian people, we do that. We recognize that. We do that through manifestation of positive synergies to create that understanding, that prayer. And we do that through ceremony. So that's what we've done in our community. We do a lot of ceremonies, praying collectively, and we believe in that prayer. That's the key. You have to believe in that prayer. Because if we can be the narrative of our own legislation and our own fate going forward, we can accomplish a lot as a community. And when we practice these things and you believe in that prayer, good things will come. And that's what we're doing. We're implementing, revitalizing our language, revitalizing our ceremonies with our young men, young women, all adults, our elders. Our elders are our affirmation when it comes to ceremony and laws. They're the ones that tell us what to do. For example, I know there's a lot of educators out there. One of our elders that passed on was practicing that affirmation. He came into the school, and the kids were coloring the chinupa, the pipe. And she said, as a Dakota people, we don't put our sacred objects out there like that. We respect that. We respect that chinupa, that pipe. So what she was doing was recognizing and correcting a Eurocentric curriculum, but they were desecrating a sacred object. And to her direction, she said, no, we don't do that. That chinupa, we don't look after the chinupa, it looks after us, looks after itself. And when we have, and we're around that sacred pipe objects, we have to think good thoughts. We have to be pure. We cannot come in thinking anger, all these things that are going to be not good for us. So we have to respect that. But the Elders Oversight Committee are the ones that direct when it comes to cultural curriculum, interaction. Another example I wanted to stress is that why it's important we do that. Safeguard our ceremonies. If a child comes into care and goes into the sweat lodge, gets burned, and goes to court, are we going to allow a judge to tell us how many rocks to use in our ceremonies? We cannot do that. We have to regulate ourselves today, in today's day and age, and elders' oversight committees would do that. That's our form of accreditation. We do not put our hand on a Bible. That's not us, our beliefs. We use a chinupa to tell the truth. And these are the things that, that we look at, I look at, and our community is moving forward in different aspects. This is one area that we look at in education. We look at resources. We're implementing a trade corridor right now. The federal courts required you have to prove absolute title. And I say, that's your laws. As Indian people, we share title. Throughout history, there were territorial boundaries, but at the end of the day, we came together and worked together as nations. There's existing, the doctrine of discovery, another one, that we were beasts of the land. We were not equal. Well, our laws, our ceremonies, our governance had order. Our Sundance has order. Our ceremonies, rain dances have order. We've had that for years. So, am I getting the cutoff sign? Yeah. So anyway, so with that, I just want to turn it over to the ladies here. Like I said, I apologize if I offended anyone. I didn't mean to do that. I'm a young man here, and I want to thank you all for coming and listening to me. And I want to turn it over to the real, our elders. They're the ones that tell us what we need to do, and they're the ones that are guiding us in our community going forward. So with that, thank you very much. Home Podcast.
Hamitaki api. Chante was staying a pet use api. Wopida tanka itancha. Taku was stay ota hogadaka. Iomakpi apetiki. Nina ota hippie de. Wopida tanka chicha pia. Ukazawa kawi maki api. Tatankanaji hecha watia. Naha washichu ikta Diane Goodwill imakia pia. Naha wachbetwa sisitwa oglala lakota hemia. With gratefulness, I thank our leader, our Itancha, our chief, for sharing the words. How far our community has come. Our Oyate, our community name is Standing Buffalo Dakota Nation. We are about 45 minutes from here. And in all that our leader has shared, we come through struggling times. We are a small Dakota reserve. I always say 2 by 2 because our reserve allotment is so small with our population to take care of our people. But within the years, these last years, I came back to help our community. I'm the health director there. And I've been helping along with our Dakota way of life. I was born into it. I was learned our ways, which is the Lakota ways and Dakota ways, our life ways. In sharing that, I say that in a humble way. Because everything you do and we do is earned. You earn it. And I have always encouraged our people to understand who they are, where they come from, what is their tribal name, what is their spirit name, their spirit guide. I've always encouraged them to do that. And to understand what is your oral history, what is your true oral history of your nation, your tribe, where you come from. Because those are keys to help you to understand and know who you truly are. And what are your values, your beliefs, your customs, and your traditions. I always say this is important to really share in your education systems and to incorporate those into your school, because that gives a stepping stone for your children, all the children, the grandchildren, and the great-grandchildren, that ability to take that to the future for the benefit. I always said that in a good way, which is tuka takia tayamaning te tukazu, takosas. And I always say all the grandchildren, the school children there are my grandchildren. I am a grandmother and a great-grandmother, and I proudly say that. We have some history that needs to be shared from what our Itancha, our leader, our chief has shared. And these sacred rites that we have, we walk with them. There's 7 of them. And he did share already about the lodge, the sweat lodge. We speak a bit about it here. We talk about the fasting. We talk about the rites, the 7 rites, which includes everything from the fast right down to the Ishnati, the rites of passage. We share a little bit with you. So we didn't really just speak about it. We have been implementing it and walking with our girls and the young boys, because one of the ceremonies is for the young boys. And it takes time. It takes time to do that. But with the other gifts that we have, which is our values that are given to us and shared with us under the Ocheti Shakoi, which is 7 council fires. In the center, we have the chanupa, the sacred pipe that was given to us by the sacred white buffalo calf woman. And all over the world, you see the symbols, and yet, they're defined in different ways to suit their own. But as Dakota, Lakota, Nakota people were given this way through that chanupa, through the pipe. Because when she did come to our people, she came, she brought the teachings as a woman, and she utilized the Oyate and Tioshpayes that needed food. She helped them to find direction, because we are nomadic people, and they found to find the buffalo so that we can eat, our ancestors could eat. She brought those teachings through the warriors to prepare the camp, and she brought them a message. She did come within a day. She brought the message with that chanupa, that bundle, to the people to carry this way of life on into the future through the teachings of the stem and the bowl, in which guide our people. And we bring it down. It was handed down from generation to generation. But I will say here now that when forgiveness and acceptance of our Dakota nation, our sovereign nation, was given to us, acknowledgement by the Prime Minister of Canada, the governments, because we're a sovereign nation, we never signed any treaties in Canada. So we went forth walking freely, accepting that, belonging, and walking with our culture, our language, our values. Like I said, our beliefs, our customs, and traditions. There's so much that I can share with you, but we are limited time here, and we are here to share with you a bit about how we conduct this rites of passage ceremony. But I just wanted to give you an overview of the 7 council fires as part of we come from, because we're a Dakota nation. And there is 24 Dakota nations in the United States and Canada. And that border line, medicine line, doesn't mean anything to us, because we have relatives on the south, in the east, in the west, in the north. And we're one nation, even though there is 24, Dakotas, and with different dialects, we are one. We're a Dakota nation. And we carry out now a lot of our rights that were given to us by Creator through the white buffalo calf woman. And when she left the teachings, she appeared as that buffalo, the color of a buffalo, which is licorice black. And as she walked with the songs, she turned 4 times. And each time she'd turn around and she'd look at the people, because there's promise that she made one day she was going to come back. So as she went again, she stopped again. She turned red, and then yellow, and then white. And then she turned around. But that's the promise she made to our nation. And it was always there. But few follow it because they don't truly understand our language, what Creator gave us. He gave us that Dakota language as the same given every one of your languages, because we don't take that time today because of all the devastating effects that our people have felt and have gone through. But you know what? We're still here today. So I'm grateful that we are able to do what we're doing at Tatankanaji, Standing Buffalo, along to make sure that our children are going to carry this way on. Our values, our beliefs, our customs, our traditions, and our ceremonies. We're going to carry them on. And I feel good because I always said that. Tukatakia tayamanikte takoja. You're going to walk good in the future, but freely. And we are exercising that because nothing is holding us back now. We're doing everything with prayer. We have wapia wias, wapia wichashtas. We have medicine people that help us right through all our ceremonies. And we do everything with prayer. And I'm grateful to share that with you. And I wish you a good week, a few days that you're spending here with all the visitors that came from a great distance. We did have one from New Zealand that come and visited our community. And she did share their way about the language. But there's something that I truly believe in. Creator gave us, Wakantanka gave us our language. Each tribe, and he'd be sad because what has been happening to us with the devastating effects of everything that's taken place. It's like robins trying to sing a meadowlark song and a meadowlark trying to sing a robin song. So you have to reclaim your language. Hamitaki wase.
Hamitaki. My name is Andrea Redman. I'm the coordinator of our prevention program at Standing Buffalo. So originally, we tried to work with some other communities to get our program rolling in September of 2022. And our intention was never to take kids away or divide families. So with our funding, it was to give back the people what was taken away from the 60 Scoop, the residential school. And so I started with, I have two coworkers. One's my uncle, but he was taken through the 60 Scoop. And then my cousin, we all don't know each other. So that's how we started to get to know each other, to do implement our culture and language into our program to sorry, went blank. They told me I couldn't write nothing now, look. So we started with language. We started doing every Tuesday language. We had instructor come into our community and helping us, and it was just like basic Dakota. And it was our children that started challenging us and requesting more. They didn't want to do just colors and numbers, and they said by the time they're finished, our school goes to grade 9, they should be speaking fluently. They were challenging us. So we started, I heard about language bowls in the States. They were Dakota language bowls, so we started, I made contact, and we started studying to go to those, and our kids were successful. They were winning, and it was like the games and stuff that they were doing in those language bowls was challenging them, and they were starting to speak more. And so we kept on. So from 2022, doing every Tuesday, there was nothing over here in Canada, the language bowls. So I started working with other communities, Dakota communities that wanted to do these language bowls, and Whitecap had agreed that we will combine it with their Oceti-Shikoe language gathering. So this year will be our third, is it the third annual? Language bowl that we'll be having at Whitecap in May. And we're bumping up the skills, or everything that we do with the kids. Like, we're trying to bump it up to challenge them a little bit more. They're knowing a little bit more. So the preparation for this Ishnati ceremony was 3 years. It took 3 years to get to where we were at to start the first ceremony. And we started it in September 24. My stepdad, or my dad, my father, Larry McKay, had helped us to get it started with prayer. We started the Buffalo Kill, and that ceremony was to be 1 year, but he passed in that November. But to honor that, the prayer that we had started it with, we kept going. We kept finished that first year. And in July last year, 2025, I lost my oldest daughter. But again, with the prayer, we kept going, because I believe in the help that we were getting through the prayers, and that we had to finish. And you can't, once you start, you can't just quit. It's a commitment that you make through the tobacco. But along with the language that we're doing, it was, and everything that we do is community-based. Everything we do is with prayers. We include all of the people, no matter if we had visually impaired, we have hearing impaired, whatever it is, we include them, and we find a way to make it good for all. And there's this a clip that we have. It was at one of the language bowls. It was my son and one of our relatives, because we make it work. He is deaf, and he used American Sign Language, but I wanted to show this because we're so proud of them when they did it. So we're learning too as we go, but we're reclaiming who we are, and we're proud of it. Everything that we do, I call it grassroots. Even when we started doing the feasts, or the thank you feasts, We do everything step by step because our people are so proud that they don't ask for help, or they don't ask, maybe they don't know really how to do it, they just walk the motions. And so we're doing grassroots teachings to all of our people. Our program is for youth, but they have to bring their parents, so everything that we do, the teachings will go to 2 of them per household or whoever it is that attends. Even we do the Indian names, everything. We call it grassroots. I call it grassroots because we want everybody to be taught in the right way and walk in a good way. We've had many challenges or faced many things or harsh or sharp words that come towards the things that we're doing, but we still keep going. And like the support or the strength that these young girls have, and they just want to keep going, they want to keep learning more, so they're making us walk faster to keep going. But everything that they do, like, we want to show them how proud we are, because if we had all these teachings, or if we were where we are right now, it wouldn't be so hard. So everything that we do, we have to do with prayers, because sometimes we just need that guidance. We can't be just doing things on our own out of just curiosity or because you want to, because we want to walk with a clean path that none of them will get hurt into the future. We want good things for them. So that's why we do everything with prayer. I don't know. I think that's all that we have, but we want to know how proud, we want them to know how proud we are of them, and we promote them, we push them. All that our girls that we have, these are the only ones that we can bring. We all came in one vehicle. We had to leave some home. but that's all I have. But Pidamaye.
We chota ya hibi se chich. We pazokawakwa hechita dewa he. Hechi wat he. Sitkara. Heta hawahiga chujemak upi. Yomap kia de we chota kawita ya hibde. Hechi khata wabdakishnit ka tawachiki hina to khinakab hina storwaye sechet. Yomap kia chateki hetaha. Yomap kiche. Ichish tokata kia we choch awajida echera yuhama onipte. Wana teha hikuya unkapi. Wana ukina jiba, wana takut wichocha ichunk upte, gina wana ichunk upte. Takura kakijishni katia, wichocha de yuhama unipte. Hechache wichada, inawaiga tewaiga. Hinawanat iapi, tkata kuspemakiab, hinawawokia. Tueta ku chipka o chiniapka ha. Ob hechiega oichakia eape hechache uspemakiaba matisina getaha hechache mawani hina katinsia yuha mawani e. Wanitu ota na kuakichita obwa hechi uspemichie. Air traffic technician Hemacha. Hey Yuhamawani wanateha. Tkahina damakotaga tuemieg de Wanietu wikjemna some 23 years hehaya akichita opawa Tka da kotag de ma tohne na awek tu jishni. Heche Tatankanaji mas apapi. O ya kia pe oyakihi e ape. Ha e pe. To hai o waki e te tosta ochi chiapte. Ha tibidowa e wa. De na yu hachkant ka. O mani iae machpieta heichitki. Taku yu hega yu hachkan he wichakich yu hachka. Heche takomni. Takomni heche himachache. Heche tosta ochi chiapte pe to hai o waki egde. Ishna tibde tohnina. Unkakik tu japshne. Ihunya yuha unkupye. Our DNA. He ihunya. Tohnina, they'll never keep us down. Toshta yuhama unipte. Heche hetaha. Matoduta. Tochapse. Tochapse. Matoduta wing. Okwada ikchiapi api. He chanjeki. Wana yuhamani pia. He mish yomapki. Yomapki. Taku tawachi de du happy hina. Shichecha hina. Taku kuspe wichak. Mahe otechike. Ihunia hepache. Naku pidani chiapte. Pidani chiapte. My relatives, Joanne McKay Makiapi, Sioux Valley, Dakota Nation. Heta, oh, that's where I come from. Heta, yeah. I got a phone call this fall, and from Tatakanaji, Standing Buffalo. They asked me if I would help. Ishnatipi, that comes from the beginning of time. I've known it that to happen, but my family has gone to residential school, and a lot of these traditions, this way of life, they had taken, but they never really did. We let them take it. So now we need to put up our coats back on, we need to do our thinking caps and everything, and continue, because we can bring it back. We have it. It's all in us to do this, and to teach this, and to be walking in prayer, because that's who we are. We're a very strong people as who we are. And that's all we need. That's all we need. We need to know who we are, and our strength, and our belief, and our prayer. Pidamapia, takyawas.
Piramaya. Hamatakiapi, Chante Washte Nape Chiusapi, Tatankanaji Hamataha, Kristen Yuzichbi Tatusis, Samakiapie. My name is Kristen Yuzichbi Tatusis. I'm from Tatankanaji, Oyate, and I'm very proud to be here tonight. I thank you all for joining us. Thank you to Think Indigenous for inviting us. I'm very proud of all of the girls here and the grandmothers. I can't look at them, I'm too proud. I'm so proud of you guys, I don't wanna get teary eyes, but the transition of, from childhood to young womanhood during the Ishnati ceremony is something so beautiful that it really changed my life, supporting it. So here I have some pictures. We can share a few pictures of before the ceremony and after. No photos were taken during the ceremony. The main purpose of Ishnati, well, there's many purposes, but this takes us back to who we are as women. It's our role as women, teaching them what the role is, how to support one another, how to support their families, how to support themselves. And here we have the girls, they put up a teepee together, and in putting up the teepee together, they learned how to work together, how to support each other, how to have compassion and love for one another. Throughout the entire Ishnati, the young girls learn these values. They treat each other good, they're sisters. All of us are these are all my daughters. These are the Kushis, their granddaughters. So once they are completed the ceremony, they become a part of our society. And for the women in the society, we have to walk in a good way. And what that means is we do our best in everything we do. We have to have a good mind, a good heart. We have to be mindful of the words that come out of our mouth and the thoughts that we have. So it's not just the Ishnati for 4 or 5 days. They are expected to walk in that way all year, every year. Here's some more photos included. Right from the beginning, the girls develop a strong connection to one another. They're taught about the connection to all living beings, everything that's living, and how important that is. This here is our matriarchal ancestors' prayers answered. And this is what it feels like when we're together. It really feels like, I love these girls so much. I do, I love them. I love all of the girls. And we're very proud that we have a large number of new girls this summer. So what we're doing right now is we're preparing them. We don't expect them to just show up, come the month of summer and do the ceremony. There's a lot of hours that go into it every month, all year long. They're taught to make their own moccasins. They're taught to make their own shawls. They sew their own dresses. And they learn about the buffalo. So the buffalo is the most important part of our ceremony. It's in our DNA. We connect with the matriarchal spirit of the buffalo, and that's such a powerful thing to do. It changes our lives, really, it truly does. And I just wanted to add too, also the girls have an understanding of the importance of the men in our ceremony. Yes, it's a woman's ceremony. The Ishnati is a woman's ceremony. However, we really respect and rely on the men that support us. They understand that there has to be the male energy, like the male prayers and the female prayers. And when the two come together, it creates, harmony, balance, and that's what we walk with. That's why we respect our male relatives so much. We're very grateful for the support and the help. They do a good job at, speaking on our behalf. They do a wonderful job at protecting us, supporting us, and providing for us. The men that support us are always there when we ask, and they're really good. They're really helpful. So we teach our girls that, there's the male support, and this is what it's like to be treated with respect. This is what it's like to treat ourselves with respect. When we treat ourselves with respect, we walk in a good way, and we also remind each other. Sometimes we come across hard times. Often in life we do, and we're able to rely on each other for support. As the women in the society, we do remind each other not to walk in a way of anger. If anything needs to be corrected, we do it with love and compassion, and we support each other and we stand together. For our girls, if there's any conflict, we do talk about conflict resolution. So they're learning these conflict resolution skills during our meetings, during our camp. It's a way of life. In life, we have conflict, and it's really important that they have these good conflict resolution skills. So what it does is it strengthens us. Oftentimes, like if we don't have conflict resolution, things can be dismantled, and we don't want that. We want to stay strong. We understand that to be strong together, we all come together for our girls. Everything's for the children. I just wanted to also talk a little bit about, for myself, during the Ishnati ceremony, the women are out, we're doing what we have to do. We have our role that we have to fulfill. And as we're fulfilling our role, we see the grandmothers. The grandmothers, their presence is there. I wish that we could have all the grandmothers up here, like there's more of us. And just seeing the grandmothers support, you know, they lead, they do, and they show us how to walk in a good way. And when we're out there, we're going through things too, but we can just look on the sidelines and we see the grandmothers sitting there. We see them everywhere. They're sitting there, they're holding space. So what they teach me is how to hold space, even from a distance, that it's possible. And I'm learning how to do that. So I'm really grateful for all of the mentors that we have. I want to specifically share my gratitude for Melanie. She's one of the mentors that really helps us and our girls and the women as well. I'd also like to pass this to Kushi Diane. She's going to introduce one of our girls. Piramaya.
Mitaki pi chante waste the pe chur be apia ke de mitako jade de tisna a Czechia, yeah. My granddaughter Mahpia is going to say a prayer in our language. It's like I did mention the importance of our language. Our young ones are trying very hard. They are trying very hard to learn, speak, and apply. We asked her to share a prayer that was helped by one of our relatives from the south, Hupahuduta. As a grandmother and as our society, we are grateful. And we will finish now. Sharing with you is what we have shared about. We are carrying on in Tatankanaji for the Ishnati. I wanted Takoja to say her prayer, and we say thank you to the organizers and those that have invited us. And with that, Hamitaki wasi, Hamitakoja nija.
Hantukashira, Adewa Kantanka, Hokud Hetuana, Na Demie Hoyewaye. Shiche Jab Koshka, we Koshkaraka, Owichakia Pie. Oasna Unshi Wichara Pie. Unshia Namichi Hue, Hamitakioas.
Hamitakioasi, Hopida Tanka Chichapia.
All right. Beautiful, beautiful presentation about the restoration of, not only tradition, but restoring culture and practices for our community and being able to unify together and being able to help build identity for our children. Not only that, but they, as you can see, they start to grow and gain confidence, maybe some clarity and direction with belonging. And ceremonies like that are vital to our systems and our communities to be able to thrive and that foundational components of who we are. So it's a beautiful thing in that way. And so we want to share a little bit of housekeeping here today. And I'll turn it over to Kunis, and she's got a few things to say here.
Yeah, so we will begin tomorrow at 9 a.m. It's not correct in the schedule, so if you have one by you, make a note of that, 9 a.m. start. We do have an app. It's called Event Mobi, EVENTMOBI. It's free to download on the App Store. Once you get in, there is a code, Think Indigenous 2026, all one word, no capitals. And inside, you'll have everything you need, all the speakers, the agenda. So it's really beneficial to have. I encourage you all to download. We will also have a continental breakfast before we begin, so please come and join us in a meal before we start.
Yeah, breakfast will serve at 8 a.m. and it's downstairs. It'll be located in the area where a lot of our vendors are set up also. And we'll be right back here on the stage at 9 a.m. And so have a wonderful sleep. We'll see you tomorrow. And that's day one.
Forever and ever, I'll sing to you.